What if the biggest thing holding you back right now isn't what happened to you, but the fact that you never healed from it? Because a lot of people, like myself, are surviving, showing up, working, smiling, leading, providing. But internally, we're still bleeding from the things that convinced us that we thought we were over. And eventually, unhealed damage starts showing up in places you never intended to. It shows up in your reactions, your relationships, your leadership, and your peace. And that, my friends, is the danger of surviving without healing. This is the Double Edge Factor, where high performance meets peace of mind and faith meets focus. I am your host, Manuel, and peace and blessings unto you. Before we get going, be sure to like, follow, and hit that subscribe button, because the more positive interactions you put out there, the more they push this podcast to people who've never heard it before, which, of course, will allow us to grow, reach new ears, and have a greater impact on more people around the world. And if you want to perform and live at your highest level, head on over to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com. Join that email list, and remember to like, follow, and subscribe. All right, let's be honest. Survival mode can feel productive. It keeps you moving. It keeps you busy. You handle responsibilities. And because you're functioning, you assume that you're fine. But functioning is not the same as healing. A lot of people, like myself, mastered survival. They and we know how to suppress emotions. They know how to stay distracted. They know how to push through pain, but they never stop long enough to process what damage has happened. So the wound opens up and stays that way underneath the performance. I'm going to say this, and this is especially common with men. You ask a man how he's doing, and most of them are going to say, I'm good. Even when he's exhausted, even when he's carrying pressure, even when he's mentally barely there, just trying to hold things together. Because somewhere along the way, survival became his identity. Just to handle it, man up, move on, don't complain, keep it moving. And while that resilience can be valuable in certain situations, unprocessed pain doesn't disappear because you ignore it. It just changes its form. Here's the reality. What you refuse to heal from eventually leaks into your life. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Unhealed rejection turns into insecurity. Unhealed betrayal turns into trust issues. Unhealed disappointment turns into cynicism. And unhealed childhood wounds turn into adult dysfunction. And that can be dangerous. You can hurt people without intending to, because wounded people often normalize behaviors that came from their survival. We'll talk a little bit about the cost of emotional suppression. A lot of people think emotional suppression is strength, but it's not. It's delayed consequences is what it is. Because pressure doesn't disappear when it's ignored. It just starts to build. And eventually it shows up as anger, emotional distance, anxiety, burnout, control issues, and constant irritability. Some people are not reacting to what's happening today. What they're doing is they're actually reacting to what never healed years ago. Let's move to the stigma. Healing is not a weakness. Healing is responsibility, because unhealed damage affects everybody around you, your spouse, They feel it. Your children feel it. Your team feels it. Your friendships feel it. And eventually, you got two choices: deal with the damage voluntarily or wait until the damage starts damaging all the other parts of your life. One can cost you humility, and the other will cost you consequences. As always, I'm going to ground this biblically. I want you to look at Elijah. This man had just experienced an incredible victory over Mount Carmel. Fire fell from the heavens. False prophets were defeated. And it was a powerful moment. But immediately after that, Elijah crashes emotionally. He runs into the wilderness exhausted, afraid, isolated, and overwhelmed. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Even powerful people can carry internal exhaustion. And what does God do? God doesn't shame Elijah for being depleted. He addresses him carefully. He lets him rest. He feeds him. He strengthens him. Um, Speaks to him gently. And you see, that matters. All right, for you high performers, this is important because you can't build success while still being eternally damaged. You can lead teams, you can build businesses, you can achieve goals, you can make money, you can inspire people, and still, you could still be emotionally unhealthy because achievement doesn't automatically heal those wounds. Because healing requires acknowledgement. Elisha couldn't continue operating effectively without ignoring his internal condition, and neither can you. All right, I'm truly speaking from experience when I say this, okay? When you stay in survival mode too long, you become reactive without realizing it. You overthink, you stay guarded, you struggle with trust, you expect disappointment, you stay emotionally tense. And why? Because survival teaches your nervous system to stay prepared for danger, even when danger is no longer present. That's why some people sabotage, say, healthy relationships. Um, Peace, it just feels unfamiliar to them. And then that chaos starts to feel normal. Some people use performance as a distraction from that pain. But as long as they stay busy, they never have to confront themselves. But eventually, the damage does catch up to them. And when it does, guess what it's going to affect? Your decision making, relationships, peace of mind, and emotional stability. So I want you to ask yourself, what pain have I normalized instead of healing it? What have I been avoiding by staying busy? Now, am I healing or just surviving efficiently? And that's a hard question, but it's really necessary. And here's what most people, this is what they don't want to hear. Healing requires stillness, and stillness is uncomfortable for people that are used to survival. Because when things finally get quiet, all that unresolved stuff gets louder. That's why some people constantly need noise. They need stimulation, distractions, constant movement. You see, silence forces confrontation, but healing can only start when it honestly begins. All right, let's take some practical steps towards healing. Healing starts with awareness. Let's start with that. Number one, let's acknowledge what hurts you. Number two, stop minimizing your pain. Number three, talk honestly with God about it. Number four, seek wise counsel when needed. Number five, stop using busyness as emotional avoidance. And number six, learn healthy emotional expression because healing is not instant, but it is possible. And with that, I will leave you with today's double-edged message. Survival. Survival may have kept you alive, but healing is what allows you to truly live. And if you never address the damage, eventually the damage will start shaping your decisions, your relationships, your emotional intelligence, your mindset, and your future. So stop running from it. Face it, process it, heal from it. Because strength is not pretending you're unaffected. Strength is having the courage to confront what hurt you before it starts to control you. And that, my friends, is it for today. If this episode added value, clarity, or even one push you needed, leave a comment and share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. The only way we grow this podcast is when you guys share it. The more you share, the greater impact we can have on more people around the world. And if you want to perform and live at your highest level, head on over to rodmanuel.com. That's RODMANUEL.com, where you'll find resources, coaching tools, and more to help you live, lead, and perform at your highest level. You can also order a copy of my latest book, Faith on Demand, which is also available on Amazon, as well as other exclusive content. And as I always say, be intentional with your words, be intentional with your thoughts, and be intentional with your actions. And always find a way to be a blessing to someone else today.